So, welcome back to the Havoc Time podcast in association with Dragonfire Boxing, the biggest and most reputable boxing promotion in the Oceania region and the International Boxing Organisation. This is a very special episode of the podcast. We're having a bit of a bonus episode with the media gurus of the UK in New York City. Please state your name for the record.
So, Fuad Abdul Aziz from Sheffield in the UK, and I work for Behind the Gloves.
And over to you.
Andrew McCart, obviously from IFL TV. I'm not Coogan, so you might not get as much info out of me as he would give you, but I'll try my best.
He's not Umar IFL.
No, I'm not Umar IFL Umar either.
Nah, we've had to go for the B team, unfortunately, from IFL.
No Michelle Joy Phelps here.
No. Well, we're the real OGs, aren't we? Really, we're the ones who flew under the radar coming up, you know.
But here we are, New York City.
But here we are, Renaissance Hotel, Midtown Manhattan. Boys, how's your experience been? I'll start with you, Andy. How's your experience been of New York? Not just this time, but in the past, like as a fighting city and as a place. What do you like? Do you like it?
As a fighting city, I love it. I'm a Madison Square Garden. Like if you're a fan, a fighter, manager, coach, promoter, like Eddie Hearn even said it when he brought AJ here to fight Ruiz. He said, I can't believe I'm promoting in Madison Square Garden. So it doesn't matter who you are, if you're a fight fan, promoter, whatever, you always want to visit Madison Square Garden. Yeah. And I've done it Mick Collins' debut, I've done it Jacobs versus Golovkin, and now I'm doing it at Haney versus Abdul. So for me it's amazing. I love coming to New York, not just for the fight. I mean, there's so much to do in New York. Like I've walked up to Central Park, I've been to Times Square. There's a little spot on 32nd and 6th Avenue called the Harold. I'll give them a shout out. Lovely little restaurant bar sort of place that I always go to when I'm in New York, so I recommend that. But New York as a whole, I just love the place. Same as why Fuad. See, we've had a conversation yesterday. He loves New York. Obviously, you've lived here as well now for 2 years.
A while now,
which is quite surprising. I can't believe you've lived here for 2 years with that accent, anyway. So, fair play to you, man. Fair play to you. But yeah, it's a great city, lovely city. It's a city that doesn't sleep. Yeah. Like I said to you before, like out my jet lag kicked in. I've been up at 5 o'clock every morning, and I've looked outside my window, and the city's buzzing. I mean, there's coffee shops open, there's bakers open, there's diners that are open at that time in the morning, and the streets are still full of people and still cars. So it's an amazing city, and I can't wait for Friday night with Haney. Not just the Haney and Abdul fight, but Heather Hardy against Amanda Serrano. You've got Michael Hunter versus Kuzmin, and there's a great fight that's gone under the radar, which David DeManti was talking about. I can't remember.
Laddie Fryers.
That's right.
Laddie, I've bad with Laddie for this fight. So
if he loses, it's on you.
Yeah, it's all my fault. But no, that's gonna. I think that fight could steal the show.
Yeah, that's what DeManti said that as well. And David, as much as he's as charismatic and all that, the man knows his boxing.
He talks the truth.
He knows his boxing. I've never spoke to a guy that knows everything about every fighter on the card. He must research them guys, or it might just come off the top of the head, but he puts the work in. Yeah. You can't argue. The man puts the work in, and
he's definitely an inspiration in anything you do, because he goes to show, like, number one, the man's travelling up and around the world constantly. The guy was in Mexico 1 minute, next minute he's in New York, next minute he's in London. I mean, that in itself is a type of work ethic. But then to know a card A to Z, doesn't matter what kind of boxing fan you are, if you know the card bottom
it's not just the name. It's not the names. It's he breaks them down. He breaks each fighter's record down. He knows where they come from. He knows what city, the exact city they are.
And the best thing about that as well is not just breaking the fighters down. Depending where we are in the world, he breaks down the place you're on.
Exactly.
So if it's London, he'll tell you history about London.
Yeah.
If it's New York, like earlier today, he was telling you history about when he was talking about the fight that you two just spoke about. He was speaking about how they used to have Friday night fights at Madison Square Garden and how it used to be exciting and whatnot. So the man is a true inspiration in anything you do, really.
He is. He's really. I like David a lot, and I've spoken to speak to David every time I see him, and we always have a good long chats. And one thing that I've always, I was very grateful for Matchroom and David's tribute to my friend Bradley when he passed away, and just that he went to the extent to, thank you, he and how he he conducted that was very, very special to a lot of people, and we actually spoke about it for the first time the other day. But he really does try and integrate and embrace wherever he is, and I think that's what everyone should do in boxing. Really is, no one's better than each other.
No.
We should all, no matter where you go, experience what it is. Like I go to, like, if I go to a fight down in Texas, I had a buddy cowboy hat on running around the hotel with me when I was in Texas, and I was eating Texas barbecue and everything and having a laugh, and it was great. And
hey, Fuad does the accent now. He's in New York.
Go on, you've got to. He's got a better accent than Paulie Malignaggi.
What, the New York one?
Yeah, go on, do it, lad. Go on, do it.
There's only 2 words I can really say in a New York accent.
Go on.
But the rest is just a casual American accent. It's just like, hey man, listen.
You're building it up. Just do it.
I'm here in New York, and I just want a fucking coffee. No,
coffee. No,
that's it. I want a fucking coffee, and I want a hot dog. Man, shit. Oh man.
Hey, I'm standing here.
That's better. I'm
with
standing
my coffee.
Here, with my coffee. Hey man, you taking the piss, man? No, they never say taking the piss.
The piss. Yeah.
You
mocking me, bro?
Yeah. So,
no, I was just going back actually, talk about New York, but backtracking.
Yeah.
The city is amazing. Like A to Z. I've not been as lucky as Andy over here has been for 4 fights. I think it's my second one, but God willing, I'll be here for more. But the city is embracing the boxing more and more. I mean, it's got history in itself, but thanks to Matchroom and the boys over at DAZN for coming over to the US side and really putting on bigger shows. This show itself, I mean, it's not pay-per-view quality, but for boxing fans, it is literally
it's a purist
show.
card.
Yeah.
It's a purist card. Yeah. And,
I'm excited. DAZN today, they were talking about how they're going to have a boxing schedule over the year, and I really do believe it's going to be something special.
Well, one thing about this show that I've really picked up on is, like, we've had a lot of criticism. I don't pay that much attention to Twitter as a whole anymore, because there's so much. I personally think that social media gives idiots a platform, but that's just my opinion. But Twitter, you'd have people criticising Eddie and Matchroom Sport quite a lot for, like, so-called joke fights such as KSI and Logan Paul.
I think that's
and we'll get on to that in a minute. But for this fight, I want to talk about this card. This for me is one of the best purist cards of recent times. You've got
stateside.
Yeah. And like Larry, just go back to Fryer's fight. That's what we'd call a trade fight. It's a great trade fight, and you don't really see many of them anymore. I think the best trade fight I've seen in recent times is probably Scotty Fitzgerald and Anthony Fowler.
Ritson versus Davis Jr.
That's going to be one. That's another card for the fight fans, really, because not only have you got that, then you've got Scott Fitzgerald against Cheeseman. And you've got what's her name now? Savannah Marshall, a great amateur record, coming up the pros now, showing what she's worth. The only female, if I'm right, to beat Clarissa Shields. That's been repeated 100 times.
Yeah.
And there's obviously the fan favourite Dave Allen on that card as well. Puts it all on the line as well. But no, again,
like, Pricey Allen was a good fight on paper. I thought Pricey was absolutely outstanding. I thought John Manelli and everyone got that game plan spot on for Pricey. But Matchroom are really delivering those fights over here, and it shows what Kevin Mooney's doing at Matchroom Sport.
I think what's happening with the US side of things is that Eddie's not doing it by himself. He's working quite closely with Bob Arum and making fights. He made Ramirez, Hooker out in Dallas. So he's made Lomachenko and all that, Campbell out in London. But stateside, he's trying to work with a lot of promoters.
Louis
DeBella as well.
Greg Cohen.
Yeah. So he's trying to. I don't want to get into the political side of it because it's probably not my.
It's not really hard.
But I think a lot of people know that he's trying to make certain fights and stuff like that. But it's good that he is working with Bob Arum, because Bob Arum's got a good stable, he's got a good stable, and then there will be good fights on both sides of the pond, which is good for the fans. I mean, Eddie's probably got to up his game a little bit more back home in the UK, and I think he is. Like 6 months to a year ago, he was sort of falling behind a little bit because he was focusing so much on the US side of things. But I think now with the card, the Newcastle card, the Lomachenko card, the Josh Taylor card against Prograis.
They're looking on a big one in Liverpool, aren't they? They're later on in the year with Callum Smith and John Ryder, and I think
that'll be in the summer next year, I think, won't it?
No, they said November for that fight, John Ryder, Callum Smith. And,
no, I thought you were talking about the Anfield fight.
No, that's next summer, yeah. But
that's still pending. That's been pending for a while.
But obviously, John Ryder's probably going to have ambitions to scupper those plans, and John Ryder has got himself into contention. You know, he's done it the hard way, so fair play to the kid. You know, Callum, in my opinion, from a punching perspective, probably in the top pound for pound punchers in the world for me. I think he's an absolute animal.
Done
with George Groves, and you know, he is an animal, and you know, so I think Eddie is really up in his game in the UK, and not to you know, count Frank Warren out. Frank Warren's been putting on some good cards as well.
Card at York Hall on Saturday.
Yeah, Sonny Edwards headlining against Guillermo.
Yeah, you say it. I don't like it.
You said, yeah.
I don't think we can pronounce his name, but
yeah, no one cares about that fight. I don't like him.
No,
fuck Sonny. I don't like him.
It's going off.
Oh no, me and him don't like each other, and his dickhead brother as well. We don't. There's a long story that goes back.
We've got to tell us.
You've got to tell us.
All right then. Well,
I'm signed with them to buy. I'm gonna.
Well, Charlie got given a lot of great opportunities whilst under the tutelage of a very good friend of mine who trained him, and was somewhat disrespectful when he left, and has also made personal comments to me, as did his brother, before. In the lead up to the Ryan Farag Sonny Edwards fight, there was a lot of personal stuff that got said that stepped over the line, and prior to that there was other stuff regarding my stabbing when I got stabbed a few years ago that Charlie said in a group text on WhatsApp, and he probably hears this, so Charlie, you probably do hear this, and none of our mates like you know that. And if I ever got the chance to fight him, I'm not a great boxer, but I'd fucking give him a fight. I'd say Sonny would play with me, I'll admit that, but Charlie, get up to bantamweight. I'll give you a run for your money.
I think he will be getting up to bantamweight, to be honest.
Yeah, he's bigger taller than me.
He said he doesn't want to vacate.
Oh no, he told.
It's going to be interesting, but I think he'll.
Go on, sorry.
He does. He doesn't want to move up in weight because he's a very, very big flyweight.
Yeah. An IFL interview today, Oscar says that he doesn't want to vacate. He doesn't want to move up to super flyweight. He doesn't want to vacate his title. He wants to be a champion and defend it against Martinez. So what that is. He might want the rematch, but
Martinez is no joke of an opponent.
Yeah, no. He ain't getting beat again. I think what he did to him the first time, it'll stay in his head that, and I think he'll get beat again. But like I said, I don't really like them, and you know, that's not on a professional level.
For the record, I don't mind these guys. I like you. So.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, they're alright. They're sound. I'm just audible twat.
Personal beef.
Moving onwards, one thing that is big on Sky and great for Sky Sports subscribers, and you should know Andy more about this than anyone, is the Golden Contract Tournament. Absolute fantastic concept.
See what makes this tournament different than the rest of them is tournaments you've got the Ultimate Boxer, you had what was the matchroom one that they did, what was that called again, Prize Fighter?
Yeah.
You had Prize Fighter, you've got all these different, you've got World Boxing Super Series, you've got all these tournaments.
Remember even the World Boxing Classic back in the day,
exactly.
Which everyone ended up pulling
out. But they've all sort of failed or had the sort of like, they fell off. The good thing about the Golden Contract is
there's an end game.
There's an end game. There's an end game. There's that six-figure contract, fight with a top promoter, right? So you're going to get rewarded if you win it.
What is
but there is, it's a six-figure sum.
Yeah.
Six-figure contract, 5-fight deal with a top promoter.
So they get 6 figures for 5 fights.
Yeah. Which
top
is
promoter
and it's not just even if you come second or third, you're still getting. You're still
going to get the opportunity. There's an opportunity. Shop window, aren't you?
There's a prize for second and a prize for third. So it's not like you're out of the game if you don't win the tournament. You're still, even if you come that second and third place. Also, the press conference is going to be on the Monday. The fight is going to be on the Saturday. You don't find out who you're fighting until that press conference.
Wow.
So you can train all.
A bit like white collar, that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can train.
They changed the opponents in between rounds in white collar, mate.
Exactly. Basically, you've got your whole camp. You've got to train for everybody. You can't just train for a southpaw. You can't just train for a brawler. You can't just train
Yeah.
for a pure boxer. You've got to train all 3 or all 5, 6, whatever disciplines it is that southpaws, orthodox, brawlers, tall, small, stocky. You've got to prepare for it all because you don't know who you're going to face. Do you know what I mean?
So like, look at the featherweight one as an example.
It's the best one.
You know, in my opinion, it's a fantastic lineup. But you could be training for Ryan Walsh, someone who's just going to come forward at you all night, and then end up having to box Lee Wood, who's going to sit on the back foot and go behind his jab.
Tyron McCullough. He's an awkward southpaw. A very, very awkward southpaw.
And and then there's Jazzer on the other hand, who's also southpaw, but he just comes forward and he just doesn't stop throwing punches all night. So I think it's a fantastic concept.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the fact that you're sitting there and you don't know who you're going to face like 6 days before you fight them is. Eddie Hearn said this as well. It's a great idea, and that he's picked up for Sky Sports, which probably says all there that Eddie Hearn likes the concept. He likes the tournament, and there's a reason why he's put it on Sky Sports.
Absolutely, and I want to go. There's 3 divisions. Featherweight, light welterweight, super lightweight, whatever you want to call it now, and it'll always be light welterweight to me. Ricky Hatton was world light welterweight champion. I hate this super lightweight shit, and light heavyweight. Let's all pick a winner. I'm going to start with you there.
Featherweight.
Yeah. Pick a winner per division. So we'll start with featherweight. Go on.
I need to know who's fully in it then, because I've seen it. I know the featherweight. There's loads of good fighters. We'll have a look at who's on the cards.
So yeah.
So
we're
for
just
the featherweight, we've got Tyron McCullough, Jazza Dickens, Ryan Walsh, Lee Wood, Joyce. What's his first name again?
Is it John Joyce or Joe Joyce?
John Joyce.
No, it's Joe Joyce.
David Oliver Joyce.
David Oliver Joyce. There's that many of them. Sorry.
And I can't pronounce his name. Sakaris.
Is he like a Kazakhstani kid?
Him.
I think so. Yeah.
He doesn't look Kazakhstani.
Sakaris. No, he's definitely not Kazakhstani.
This is very tough.
Because I don't know enough about that Sakaris to really make a decision.
I can't pick one, but let me just see.
That's a very tough group.
I mean, Ryan Walsh, man, it's probably hard to go against him and Lee Wood, but
Jazza Dickens.
the thing with Tyron McCullough, like, I've watched him fight, and nobody likes to fight him. Like Jamie Conlan, Mick Conlan, everyone, all the Irish guys have said that they used to hate sparring him because he was just so awkward and stuff like that. So I think it might be hard to look past somebody like Lee Wood.
Lee Wood's flying.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to win it, but it's hard to look past somebody like him. I would say, and Ryan Walsh.
I think Ryan Walsh could struggle on the weight. I like Ryan Walsh as a kid, really nice lad, but I think he might just
He's
be
a big featherweight.
outgrowing. He's very big for featherweight. He's very broad. He might be outgrowing the featherweight division. I've got to back my man down.
Jazza Dickens.
Little Jazza. I don't think there's a harder working, more dedicated fighter I've ever met in my life than Jazza Dickens. I think that he's still improving.
Here's the thing. You're talking about Jazza Dickens. He's trained by Georgie Fawn.
Georgie, yeah.
Who trains Tyron McCullough?
He used to, yeah.
And who trains Tyron McCullough now?
How was he back down with George?
No, Danny Vaughan.
Danny.
Danny's
Danny's
if
got
Jazza and Tyrone get paired together, and it'll be dad versus son, and grandson.
And the grandson's in the other corner, yeah.
So there you go. And the Derry Matthews would be in Jazza as well. Danny used to train.
Yeah, Derry, obviously.
So there's that background to it. So I'm in a personal.
And Gary Thornhill was doing a bit with Derry as well.
I spoke to Danny about this, and I hope that Tyrone gets Jazza because I want that father and son.
It'd be nice to see.
Against each other in the corner.
It wouldn't be nice to see, but it would be nice to see that it's come full circle as a family.
Exactly.
You know, and you know, the Vaughns are a family that are very close to my heart, and you know, I don't want to see either one lose if that was the case. And that's one thing that actually is a good question. What happens if there's a draw?
Well, there isn't a draw. I don't think there is. I don't think.
How are they doing the rounds? There's something like that.
There must be something.
Do a 13th round or something like that.
I don't know. There must be something there. I don't think they I don't know. Maybe
that's interesting.
There's a penalty shootout. I don't know.
Penalty. Yeah. Just a game of happy slap or something like that.
Someone just explained this to me. So whoever wins this, do they pick? How do the promoters? Do they approach them? Do they have a set deal with? Do MTK have a set deal with X amount of promoters who will be able to take the fighter who wins on?
I think that it might.
Or is there one already
it's with
chosen?
A top promoter. It doesn't say.
They've not been announced.
No, it's with a top promoter. So it might be Eddie Hearn, it might be Bob Arum, it might be
Frank.
I don't know, Frank. It might be I don't know. Maybe that's the three top promoters you can probably think about right now, but it might be somebody like that.
Yeah.
It's not like they haven't said the name yet, but they have said with a top promoter, so.
Could be Starlings.
Starlings, yeah, why not?
Just throwing a name out there. Just, you know, we've all probably got our own opinions on who it could be, but you never know. So, and it also keeps options open. You know, if anything was to change, because boxing things can change overnight. So as long as it don't affect the fighters, that's the main thing, and they're still getting the money. So next one, we're going on to the light welterweights. Name them, please.
Tyrone McKenna, O'Hara
Light
Davis.
McKenna.
Tyrone McKenna, O'Hara Davis.
Where is it?
Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing.
Am I missing something?
No, you.
Can't find it.
It'll be on MTK's.
Yeah.
It'll be there somewhere.
And there's obviously some.
Do MTK still have a page, or have they blocked me because I can't get?
MTK on there.
Look, MTK.
MTK Global, innit?
Glow. They've blocked me
How do you know?
No, they haven't. They've deleted the page.
again. They've done that before. Or they probably got deleted.
Yeah, because I.
No, they haven't.
Oh no, they haven't.
That's interesting. Why isn't it coming up for me? They've blocked me.
And they would let MTK.
I
They
follow
follow
them.
me. Obviously, they follow me. I'm the main man, aren't I?
Well, that's what we're hearing.
That's apparently what's happening. Yeah. They've
Oh,
got
no,
a-
there, here we go.
They've got an excellent show coming up with Mohammed Wazim, former world title challenger.
Bad man. Like I've
he
seen
is,
him. I've
isn't
seen him at MTK Scotland with Danny Vaughan. That guy is a bad man.
He
Bad
is,
man.
isn't he?
That's the best way I can describe that kid. Is he's just he hits like a super middleweight man. The guy, he's just a banger. Like he's definitely one to look out for in that super flyweight division anyway. So keep your eyes peeled for him.
I've been told that he punched a certain lightweight who I won't name all over the Mayweather gym.
Probably. I wouldn't. I don't know what story you're referring to, but I would definitely say
Wazim?
probably.
Wasim.
Yeah,
Mohammed
we've
Wazim.
seen battered him. Yeah.
Whoa.
He's a bad man. Like he's a very very good fighter.
So, here we go. Any joy? Is Sean McComb gone in it?
No, Sean McComb. It's just Tyrone McKenna from Danny's side.
Well, Tyrone's a very, let's talk about Tyrone for a second. Obviously, we're all very familiar with Tyrone. Tyrone's a very awkward opponent, and like you said, you're not going to find out who you're fighting.
Tyrone's
He's
tall,
very, very hard. He's rangy, he's tall. O'Hara Davis, is he still the same fighter that he once was?
It's interesting. It's really interesting with O'Hara Davis. You don't know where he is or where his head's at. He's always involved in a lot of stuff outside the ring.
I think him being off social media, he's done well for himself.
Yeah.
Did he win the Miguel Vasquez fight?
There's a lot of controversy around that.
A lot of people
I
thought,
think he's admitted that he didn't win it.
yeah.
He admitted himself that he didn't win it. So
There's not really that much else to say. Moving up to the light heavyweight division, you've got Alfie Burton's in it, isn't he? And I think this is my dark horse for that, is Bob Adjusaf. If he still got what he had left, Bob could surprise everyone, because Bob, people forget that Tony Bellew's, one of Tony Bellew's hardest fights of his career was Bob Adjusaf. People forget about that fight. Yeah. And Tony,
How old is Bob now?
mid-30s.
Well, some people peak at a later age, like our good friend Andrew here.
yeah. I'm in my 30s.
No, Andrew's looking very good.
I've still got a one fight left in me, Fuad.
Oh.
One fight
How's he
left.
fighting?
Come back.
What weight?
I'll get down. I'll get down to your weight.
Oh, my weight. God.
Nah,
I'm running. I'm
I would
ducking.
speak to Eddie Hearn about getting me on the KSI Logan Paul.
Who are you looking to fight?
Nah, I don't know. Like I would. Every time I go to boxing gyms, I'm always sort of like, I would love to do it again. I'd love to put on gloves and that. I done the pads with Danny Vaughan, and 2 rounds I was blown at my arse. So,
You look in good condition for it. I reckon you could, if you stuck to it for a while.
I look good in the t-shirt. When it's off, it doesn't.
No, but still, you can tell when someone's.
You versus Coogan, it'd be a good laugh.
I think they would.
Coogan's not got a fight in him.
Nah.
I'd be 1 or 2 rounds.
I reckon we should have.
But he used to run security, Coogan, back in the day for Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
And that would have been the easiest job in the world, because everyone loved Ricky Hatton. So you didn't really have to, like, secure him against everyone because people just wanted to.
Back then, Coogan was a lot bigger. Like, he's done well to lose the weight. But back then, if you looked at Coogan when he was doing the security, you would think, I wouldn't fuck with that guy. He looks.
No, he was a monster back then.
He looked like a big badass man. But when you speak to him, you're like, what?
No, he's very reserved, Coogan. He's not really, doesn't really. And also, when you speak to Coogan outside of interviews, he's a lot actually just quiet, nice fella. And I like Coogan a lot. And then, maybe we can have you versus Umar, IFL Umar.
High differences there, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh no, he's one of them, and he should be a southpaw. And he's just one of them. He's like a Tyrone McKenna, isn't he?
I reckon here's an idea.
6'1", super featherweight.
I should promote this because I've just come up with the idea. How about we do boxing media charity event?
Look, that's been pitched before because I think me and Rob Tebbett spoke about it.
I think this would do very good.
Me moving up and Rob coming down and meeting me in the middle, so I'll get
that'd be a lot.
Rob comes down.
That'd be very good.
Well, but
for a good charity as well, I think we'd do very good.
Yeah, definitely, I'll do it.
Frank Smith wants me to fight Anthony Lever.
Oh, that's a good.
Frank Smith, me versus Anthony Lever, yeah, just because of the height.
Or they can.
I said, did Anthony upset you or something? Did he do something wrong in work? Why would you wish this upon him? Considering I actually.
Anthony's probably got a fight in him. I'm telling you.
He looks like it. He looks fiery.
I'm telling you right now. Anthony.
Never trust someone who likes cricket.
I know.
Because he can fight in bars.
Anthony.
No, Lever likes cricket.
I know you like cricket and you like cricket, but I hate cricket.
Anthony versus Dan Barnard. The battle.
The battle of the press guys.
Yeah, we actually were in this hotel actually over there discussing this idea before Joshua Ruiz, and we're like, head of boxing, Frank Smith versus Kevin Rooney. I'm like, Kevin Rooney will probably win considering he actually boxed.
Exactly.
And his dad was quite good at it. Then Kevin Rooney could probably fight. As an amateur, he was a good fighter. Dre knows Kevin. Andre, my trainer, knows Kevin from back in the day. Dan Barnard, yeah, he's got. I call him Seamus, mate. It reminds me of Seamus after wrestling. I reckon they could put Dan Barnard, yeah. But he's got the jab and he's got the range on little Lever, and he.
Listen, I think this is a brilliant idea. And also, the way they do it in New York is they sell the tickets, obviously, as you've seen. Passerbys, people who just stop by at the open workout.
You seem happy about this, Fuad.
Listen, we could do Hulu Theatre.
I think we could do this on pay-per-view on YouTube.
Let me just say this to you. Now, look at the media guys, right? There's not one of us that are in the same weight category. Not one. Coogan's probably heavyweight. Rob Tebbett. You've got Andy Purcell, Puel, and there as well. You've got you, me. We're all different weight classes. How's it going to work?
Do you think Craig Scott's weight class?
Me, probably.
Can you batter him for me? Because I don't like him.
I like Craig, man.
I don't. He's got too much to say for himself on social media. So yeah, Craig, if you're listening to this, you annoyed me with the Paulie Malignaggi comments. Fuck off. Moving onwards.
You've got quite a lot of enemies in this game, isn't
I don't really care. See, I'm a very nice person. It's just people annoy me a lot. I just don't care. There's no filter. No filter boxing must have been named with me in mind, because I genuinely know, like, he's probably a nice fella. He's just come across as but how many people have you met in boxing though who come across as a knob on social media, but when you meet them they're actually, Andy's just pointed at himself, when you actually meet them they're genuinely sound people. You know what I mean? Like, I've met
That's like that.
Chris Walker's like that. From Boxing News, Chris Walker comes across as an arsehole on social media, but when you actually meet Chris, he's sound.
From where?
Boxing News,
Chris
and
Walker.
he works for Sky Sports as well. Writes for Sky Sports, Official Walks. Chris Walker is a top fella, but comes across as, if you don't get him on social media, you want to get him or you don't.
There's a few of them in that. They're not, maybe not so much media, but you've got other guys that,
like John Evans and Teddy Dooley and people
not guys, not media guys, like the Brian Kings and whatnot. All them guys that they're like that on social media as well.
Yeah. So I've had me run-ins with a few of them in the past. Believe it or not, I had a run-in with someone. Brian King seems alright to me, to be honest.
Yes, he's actually. I met him a few years back. He was sound.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that because I don't know if anyone saw the Millwall incident with the Everton fan who got slashed, but that was a mate of mine. Yeah, and then had that, and his account's since been deleted. Was that Tommy, the guru who's never boxed?
Tommy.
Alan, yeah. So I was very pleased to see his account because for me, I just don't find any jokes about knife canine funny. But you know, these people are apparently supposed to be alright outside of it, but just put them on social media and they just become these different people.
We're all like that. It's social media it's not so much the trolls, but social media is a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Of your life. Like nobody sees the real sort of like side of things. All they see is you put up a picture of yourself in a boxing gym or you with a fighter, and everyone thinks that's your life. Is how's your Sunday going? How's your Tuesday going? Whatnot. But in reality, the people have gone through. Nobody knows what my family lifestyle's like. You don't know if I'm here, there, or anywhere. Do you know what I mean? What my family's gone through, what I've gone through. You're just seeing a highlight reel that I'm putting up on Instagram or Twitter. That's all it is.
Like, people think I'm good at boxing based on what they see on Instagram.
I don't.
Oh, well, you know that. I'm shy.
I don't know why you say that. I don't. No. Listen, fair play to you for doing what this, man. Like, you used to always say you wanted to fight, and back when you lived in Glasgow, you always said that you wanted to turn professional and all that. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I was like that. No way you turn professional. There's just no chance in this planet that you'll turn professional, you'll ever have a fight, because it seems so far fetched. Not that you're not capable of doing it.
No.
It felt like one of them dreams that was like you're reaching.
Absolutely.
You're reaching for it, and it's not going to happen. It just isn't. But you've came to New York 2 years ago. You're sparring world champions and Richard Comey and guys like that. So fair play.
Thank you, mate.
Win, lose or draw, like you're doing what you want.
100%. That's the main thing.
Fuad here as well. He spoke to me yesterday. He wants to do what's similar to what you do. He wants to fight. Maybe not professional, but definitely amateur.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it, go for it, man.
And that's it. The thing is, life's about, like, in Glasgow. I completely agree, and that's another way of saying your way, Glasgow. Say with that, but it was far-fetched in Glasgow because Glasgow didn't have that opportunities for me when I thought it might have had, but it didn't. And there's different reasons behind that. And there's certain people, we won't get into it because I'll just go on and rant. But there's some dickheads up there. Alright,
no.
Let's
keep it peaceful, man. You've ripped into like 15 people, man. Just keep it cool.
I love
lambasting.
You're the best guest on your own show.
I know.
You're the best guest on your own show.
I actually had Tom Farrell on this podcast who lambasted me on my own podcast because a few years ago Tommy Caddis boxed Tom Farrell, and Faz come on the podcast before with me co-host Bobby Blundell, who's an MC with the board, and he went, I remember Caddis got his mates to go on Twitter and call me out. And he went, oh yeah, I like his mates though, I was the person doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Tom Farrell was having a go at people who hosted the podcast he was on, which I thought was really funny. But no, it's it was a far-fetched idea when I think back, but I've always been an ambitious person, and I realised that my future always was going to lie in the US. That's what I wanted from when I was a kid, and I was always working towards it. Believe it or not, not a lot of people know this, but the first year I was in Scotland, I tried to come over here and get an internship with Golden Boy on a media standpoint, and I was going to try and go down to Mexico and fight on their club shows that they have in Tijuana, which is a very common thing in America, which fighters will just pay.
I would say that sounds far-fetched, man, but geez, man, what you've done, I'd probably think that's something you would think about, man.
I was going to go to Tijuana, but it was more accessible to go to North Carolina to get the opponents, because my weight over here at Super Bantam and Feather, you're either 7-0 or 0-7. There's no one with 50-50 records. So everyone goes down to places like Carolina and they get a certain level of opponents in. And it is what it is because there's not enough shows, there's too many fighters and not enough shows in New York. Like you see the show that we're at on Friday night and they're not going to put me on there, are they? But there's nothing really under that. Yeah. So you have to travel. So like on the show in Carolina I'm on, there's 3 New York kids.
You're one of 3 New York.
Yeah. So I'm going on first. Our request so I can go the boozer quicker. And then there's 2 other lads on from me, 2 lads from the Bronx on.
What is it, a New York versus Carolina?
No, it's just 2 New York kids fighting some local crackhead. And then there's the actual Carolina fighters will come on then.
You're not selling this fight card quite well if you're calling them all crackheads.
At least he's honest.
Come out to the show, come watch me fight, I'm fighting a crackhead.
Yeah, but they're hard, they have to fight every night, they do more sparring than me, don't they, fighting over drugs and stuff, so this could be a hard night for me. And they walk around on their weight because they don't eat.
They won't pass the drug test, or will they?
No, exactly.
There is no drug test.
I can't see Varda turning up by any stretch, But Yeah, and these crackheads walk around on the weight like I just said, you know, they don't eat, do they? So they ain't gonna make weight like me.
Let's get him a bit 8'2" though.
Yeah, he's gonna come in some 7'6" crackhead fighting a bantam.
What's the ultimate goal for you in this?
To me, I just want to see how far I can go. I'd like to win an IBO Continental America's title.
It's a title.
That's
it means
it.
Right now that means
To the boxing purist, that means jack shit.
doesn't mean nothing. But listen, if it's something you can put there and tell your kids, grandkids, like it's a story to tell that you took yourself away from the UK, moved to America, and won a title.
You can move you out now.
Eh?
Make a movie.
Exactly.
Short film.
Exactly, it'd be a bit of an 18. It'd be an 18 my film, like it'd be a bit of heavy.
Exactly, calling out every single fighter on the planet. Sonny Edwards, Charlie Edwards, fuck you, man.
Yeah, he's after promote. He's everyone. Well, do you know
Would
what?
you spar him?
Who? Them two? No. That's
Would you
bad.
fight him?
No.
I was like, would you?
Would I spar them? No. I won't fight them. To be honest, I wouldn't want if they were desperate for an opponent. I'd want all the money in the world. I wouldn't want them beating me unless I was getting absolutely
But that's
a
the
lot
thing
of
is,
money.
dude,
But the reality of it happening is very, very.
Oh, of course.
You know, it's not for winning.
and they're flyweights, man, as well.
Yeah, I like to be honest, they're good fighters. I don't like them, but they're good fighters, and and I do commend them as fighters, and I think who's their trainer? Grant Smith. I think Grant Smith's done a fantastic job with them.
Smith is just a
Quality
top
trainer.
not just a trainer, but top man.
Yeah,
And
like,
what he's been through in his life so far, it's like when you hear his background story, his family, his upbringing, and I mean he had a tram accident. He was running and he very slim chances of living.
Oh.
So, yeah, but it was literally hit on the moving tram, and you see the tram coming, boom, straight, knocked out. Had a massive operation, and look at him now, trainer of a champion of the world,
and his son
that
as well,
the gym is booming.
and his son as well. You know, that must be very proud from a father.
Dalton, man,
What a fighter!
What a fighter he is. Watch this kid, man. He is a very. I said that to him after his second. Watched his pro debut after his second fight when he came up to Glasgow for something. I can't remember what it was. Lee McGregor fight against Scott Allen. And I said to him, I said, you're a very good. Like the lightweight division is stacked. I always refer to Josh Taylor. Like I'm not. If I look at them, I say like. It's hard for me not to compare somebody in that division to Josh Taylor because of my friendship with Josh. But I look at Dalton, I think he's got the ability to do what Josh sort of done.
Yeah.
And win a world title in 15 fights. But people don't know that. Like Josh Taylor had won a world title in only his 15th professional fight.
Exactly, and I don't think. Do you know if he was a Sky Sports fighter?
Doesn't get
If he was a Sky Sports fighter, he'd get far more credit than
exactly, like 15 fights. Like people used to talk about AJ getting a world title in his 14th fight, 15th fight, and stuff like that. Like Josh Taylor's done it as well.
Yeah.
Josh Taylor, and he's fought arguably tougher opposition.
And he's been in
Victor Postel, what
Victor
a great
Postel,
fighter.
Branchik, Ryan Martin, who was highly ranked in the governing bodies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Branchik as well, who was the champion, a very, very tough fighter, undefeated.
He's weeks away from uniform.
Branchik was based here in Brooklyn for a long time before he went to Freddie Roach. He was based here, but you know. But to back to that on what we were saying before, you know, regarding, you know, you were very complimentary and I really do appreciate that. Both of you have been of what I've done, but you have also done your own thing. I remember Andy when you were working on a building sites, running first class boxing website, years back, and you know, you've really took your dream and ran with it, and you've got the opportunities, and now you live in the dream. You're on your way up, you know, you're getting there, and you will get there. And for me, I said this to you before, I never want to be them fellas who sits in the boozer saying I coulda, because I know so many of them. I could have been the best footballer. I was this.
I had trials for Rangers and Celtic.
I was on the books at Liverpool, and you know I was played for Brighton. But you know, like people, I remember being sat at parties with my mates talking about who was the best players who played for Raynhill Town, and I'm like, who gives a shit? I went, because I certainly don't. And like I still know people now, and they'll used to slag me off. Now they'll follow me and like me stuff on Instagram, and I didn't forget them slagging me off. That's why I don't follow them back. But you know, another dig. But
I mean, I want to know what he says when I'm not here. You would tell me, right?
Oh no, I like you. I like you.
But I want to go to the toilet, right? Tell me what he says.
And Andy. But nah, you know, he's you know, that's the truth. I never wanted to be one of them people. I wanted to be able to say, well, I did this, and you know what? If it don't even work out, I had to go.
Yeah.
And then you live life with no regrets. And I think you two, and just answer please individually. Would you say that that's one of your drives about the projects that you partake in?
Okay, I would say how I got started in this. Like, obviously, I boxed when I was younger, boxing in the army and stuff like that. But then I went to a Ricky Burns fight. I think it was against Gonzalez. Remember that fight in 2013?
Yes.
I bought ringside tickets, took my wife, and the fight was awful. The fight was terrible. And I said, my wife's a school teacher, so I said, listen, I'm going to do a blog. Like we do. I read, seen a few people write blogs and stuff. I said, I'm going to write a blog. You do the grammar and the spell check for me. I'm going to write it. You just make sure everything's correct. And
there was no Grammarly back then, was there?
Yeah, there was no grammar back then. So she corrected every my grammar. She put nice words in when I put a rubbish word and whatnot. So I posted it and it got a little bit of traction. And a guy called Paul from Birmingham, we got talking on Twitter. We created Paul Webb.
Yeah.
We created First Class Boxing, and then from there, it's just I got the press pass for.
You had a very good co-editor at one point.
That was you.
Me?
Yeah, that was you.
That's gone back 2014.
That was got a long time now.
You were working a lot, so I did quite a lot on there.
You did do quite a lot, yeah. Which is again, thank you for that. And I was actually in here, and I spoke to Coogan and James, and they said, "Why don't you work
in
for
this
us?"
hotel?
And not in this hotel, but in New York, in this city. It was actually the Stuart Hotel, which is just down there.
So the top would have been a top ranked show on, wasn't it?
It was a top ranked show. No,
that's where they stay.
It was McCollin's debut.
Yeah, that's where they stay.
Yeah,
and you were doing a bit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, when Conor McGregor walked him in. Yeah.
Because you were doing originally a bit, weren't you? Because I started what was MGM TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember back in the day, and then I had my very public fallout with a certain person from Glasgow,
right.
and then which we'll leave at that. But then they kind of needed something that was doing all right, and I walked away from it. And as years have gone by, I was right to walk away from it. But you really took the reins there, and I'm not saying that I paved the way, but I mean, when you took the reins, it needed IFL TV, it needed something bigger than.
Yeah, but that's
it
what
needed a platform.
To be fair, that's all down to like Coogan and that. Yeah. They gave me the opportunity, and I'll always be grateful for Coogan. Like even just saying to me, like, do you want to go to New York, or do you want to go to Dallas, or do you want to go here, there? Like, Coogan started this whole thing. People got to remember, like, you might get a stick on the line and all that. And that's not. This isn't me just sucking up to the man.
No,
you know what I mean. But he gets a stick on line, but you can't argue that guy's work ethic. Like Eddie Hearn can do. Eddie Hearn can be in Vegas, right? And then he can land in London. Within an hour, Coogan's phone him. Can I get an interview? He's so persistent. He wants that content. He wants to get the news out there. If there's anything that's broken, he wants to get it out there first, and that's the drive of the man. And he's created this from rock bottom, and fair play to him.
And James as well.
Yeah. I've just made it bigger. That's all I've just made it what it is.
Well, obviously you come on board, and then MTK Global said the main man from Edinburgh's there. Exactly. We need to toss 500 quid a week away for everyone it is, don't we? By the way, that's completely untrue. That never happened, so don't quote me. But no, obviously with MTK coming on board, that must help a lot.
MTK is just the shows they're putting on as well. Like I love going to Belfast, because the Belfast shows that they put on, it's like the Ulster Hall's like the York Hall.
It is, yeah. It's like the Olympia as well.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful little venue, and the shows, especially with the Irish crowd, the Belfast fans, and like the fighters and stuff like that. Sean McComb, Paddy Barnes. You've got Lewis Crocker, Tyrone McKenna, Tyrone McCullough. You've got all these guys coming up.
That Lewis Crocker can fight.
Lewis Crocker can fight, yeah. You've got all these guys. You've got Paddy McCrory as well. You just won a Celtic title against Steve Collins Jr. You've got all these fighters that are 12-0, 11-0, 7-0 coming up, and they're great fighters that maybe not the UK, mainland UK hasn't really heard of them yet, but watch out for them, man, because they're very, very talented fighters. And the shows that MTK put on, not just in Belfast, Liverpool, Manchester, London, Brentwood and whatnot, they're great little small hall shows, which is great for the fighters and great for the fans.
Well, that's what I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but I wanted to ask you, about yourself, what's your personal journey. But that's one thing that I'm going to come back to is the importance of what MTK 100%. Are doing in the likes of Northern Ireland, the likes of Scotland, and even South Wales. Yeah. So we'll get back to that, but.
Before I start mine, I didn't even know anything. I've known you for a minute, but I've not actually known your story. That was pretty interesting. Silent start, because that was really interesting. But fair play to you, man. Worked hard, you get there. Well, with me, really random. I've always, as a kid, the only one goal that I had in my mind is to become an athlete. I'm talking as a little chubby kid.
Football, rugby, whatever.
Football was my main
Cricket.
thing. I used to. No.
Are they athletes
Thank
still?
goodness he's been
Oh,
bowling.
yeah, please don't. Yes.
They take team. I'm joking. No. They are. You know what? They recently as well with the World Cup, it's been fantastic to watch. Don't follow it with interest, but like when the World Cup was on, I did watch a few things or not. But no, going back, football was like how boxing is to me now. Football was like that every single day, just playing out there. And the main thing with me was with being Asian and being Bengali. My parents are from back home. They didn't really understand how a footballer would become a footballer. What does that even? What do you achieve from it? How do you make money? The mindset of Bengali people has and always been to grow up, get educated, find a good job, work, and live a happy life. That's it. They don't know anything else. Right?
Structured.
It is very structured. I don't blame them because we're very. You have to remember as well, Bangladesh is still new to the world. We've only got our independence in the 70s.
Scotland will get our independence soon.
So we're still new to the whole world, and it was a lot of granddads and dads coming over here, and we're still developing. Anywho, so I didn't really get the chance to play for a team or anything until I was like 16. But when I did end up playing, I was like quite far behind compared to the lads who've been playing, the competitive football. In the 3-4 years I did play like local Sunday league and then went on to play college football, I developed a lot. And I noticed one thing about myself was I just, even though a lot of people had comments about how I played, I focused and I did develop, but it was a quick turnaround and somehow I ended up in boxing. I had a few mates who did it, walked into the gym, never looked back. While I was doing the boxing, a year in, I dislocated my shoulder 3 times, so that kind of cut off any sort of competition.
You learn how to punch first.
That must have been the problem.
He was training you? So no, I'll show you.
It was Deontay Wilder. So I wanted to be involved with the sport, and I used to follow the 2 channels that are right here, IFL and Behind the Gloves, followed it a lot, and I literally just went to events with a shitty camera, no press pass, just walked in, no experience of interviewing anyone, and literally just tried to sneak in the back doors, talk to people like Hugo and Michelle. And luckily enough, I spoke to Michelle enough and got in contact with her. Worked for free for a minute.
Getting on a case.
worked for free for a minute, and now here I am working in New York. The goal is still there though. I can't ever give up my ambitions to become an athlete.
You want to become a fighter, don't you?
100%. And I know I've got time to develop this. Time there. Time's on my side, luckily. God's on my side, and the focus is there. Wherever I'm
not on my side.
No, and wherever I am, I'm still training. People look at me and say, "You're working here. You've got a good sort of job. Stick with that." I couldn't ever, as much as I enjoy it and love it, and traveling and whatnot. I'll always come back at the end of the day, sit down, and I feel like, no, I haven't trained, and I've not been punched in the head. I've not sparred. I've not got that competitive. The competitive side is still there. Yeah. I'm gonna make use of it as long as it is there. Do you know what I mean?
I'd say until that goes, you've got to push it as far as you can, because you'll never, like I said, it's all about living with no regrets. For me, I couldn't possibly live my life and think I didn't do it. I fucked up, and I've made so many mistakes in my life that have been like, I can't let myself down again. And I think that, and that's the knowledge that I'd pass on to anyone, that always give something 100% or don't bother. That's why I always said about boxing, don't just half-arse it. You either give it everything or don't bother.
You can't
get it.
There's one thing you cannot do in boxing is not give it 100%, because you give it 90% then you're going to get hurt. And that's just not, that might just be the case for promoters, and as well as fighters. Like, it hurt in the sense of financial terms, hurt in the sense for a fighter physically. You've got to give it 100% no matter what you do in the sport. It's a dangerous sport, and it's a dangerous business.
Yeah, for me it's just there though. I mean, I know I've got plenty of things to develop on, but I've tested myself against pros, undefeated pros like Mahib Fazaldin, 15-0 fighting out Peacock's gym.
Yeah, I'm on him.
Very good fighter. Good. And some really good amateur kids in Sheffield I've sparred with, and if I can hold my own, then I know there's time to develop. And I think you said that I don't want to turn pro. That is the goal. I do want to turn pro, and I do really want to give it a go.
Don't want to turn pro like right now.
Oh no! Right now's the goal. Right now's the goal is just to have amateur fights and learn
your craft.
Learn the craft and really just get used to fighting in front of people. That's one thing. Do you know what I mean? Fighting in front of a rowdy crowd where your emotions and all that.
You know the nerves you go through prior to fighting is something you can't experience until you're there. And I've been in changing rooms where I've been like, I want to go home. And I've been in changing rooms where I've been sat there with a packet of Jaffa cakes left. You know what I mean? It's the range of emotions that you go through is absolutely unbelievable. And good luck to you, mate, because I respect anyone who gets in a ring. no matter what level, you know. But
And this is what I'm saying. We could be the Three Musketeers. Andy needs to make a comeback.
No.
He needs to make a comeback.
I spotted Josh Taylor before he turned professional, and the guy hit me with a right hook with 6-inch gloves on, and I had the head guard on, and it shook me to my feet. And it was just a short right hook, and it's one of the Terry McCormack at Lock End had it, the trainer there. He stopped it, and just because the way that Josh hit me was just so fast and so clinical that it just honestly nearly knocked me the fuck out. So I think taking that shot of Josh and just knowing my age and stuff like that, I think what's the point, man? I would love to do it if somebody like maybe going back to the KSI Logan Paul type thing, like if it was somebody sort of like who's my level sort of thing, and it's something like that, like what they're going through, then I'll do it definitely 100%. I'd love to have a fight again, love to, but in terms of me turning professional and stuff like that, no chance. I know my limits, and I've seen guys like, especially guys like coming through nowadays, their sort of style of fight, like Josh Taylor, you've got Josh Kelly, Anthony Fowler. These guys are all animals, man. Like, they're
and obviously
scary,
with the tickets selling.
Oh, I'm a ticket seller. Like,
yeah,
man.
We were having a discussion.
Scotland's my town.
Is it? Yeah.
Send this out.
People think England. So when I moved over, I thought England was a city.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
We talking about boxing though. We had a plan just before we started this little podcast that there should be a charity. Well, I had the plan.
Charity media fight.
Charity media fight. Someone come on board and support the plan, because I think it'd be a great idea.
I think Eddie had backed that.
Specifically for charity though, we're not looking to
And
make.
Frank Smith already expressed interest in me versus Anthony Lever. So,
I'm trying to think who I could fight. There's nobody like, that's what I'm saying. We're so different. Everyone in the media.
could be one of the DAZN kids around your side.
Oh, I'd leather all them.
Yeah,
Assad.
Who's Assad?
He used to work behind the gloves.
Oh, I know Assad. Yeah, he's Scottish as well. It'll be a Scottish clash. Yeah.
Oh, an all Scottish class. So we can take this all. We can kind of do what Spencer Oliver was doing with the celebrity boxing.
Yeah.
And then all the Twitter trolls should fight each other.
That's a really good idea.
They can be the undercard.
I know the best thing about it is obviously with it being a charity, it would be pretty cool. But seeing as though we all work in media, there'd be no shortage of promotion. Do you know what I mean?
We'll all interview each other after the fight.
How do you feel? It'd be very cool.
Yeah.
I'll get you an NFL.
So Andy, how do you feel about knocking me out there, lad?
Just for that black eye, mate. I was like,
Did you like that body shot the second?
How's your nose? Is it alright?
But it's a good idea.
But moving on to somewhat more serious topics. MTK, I think, have become the small hall kings in the UK. Obviously Andy has your involvement through IFL with them. But you've been attending them yourself, and I just think that talk to me, because obviously I've been kind of out of circulation. I keep up with the small hall boxing. I still watch as much of it as I can. But talk to me about the small hall scene in Britain at the moment, and the positives and negatives, what's good, what's bad about it.
I think the small hall shows are doing.
I don't think there's anything bad.
No.
If I'm being genuinely honest, I don't think there is anything bad.
I think it's one of the best I've seen it as far as I can remember.
Competitive wise as
well. No, because I'm going to mention a small hall promoter called Steffi Bull.
I know Steffi very well, actually. Yeah, he's doing some great things.
And Ryan Rhodes put on a world title shot with Terry Harper headlining, with immense talent from this Yorkshire area on the undercard, such as Levi Kinciona. We actually had a former world title. What's his name? One of the twins, the McDonald twins.
Gavin boxed on that show. Yeah,
he boxed on that show as well. So, you said MTK are the kings of small hall shows, which is correct. They put on amazing shows. But if you talk about from like my area in Sheffield, Steffi Bull's doing a great job.
Dennis Hobson's been there. Ryan Rhodes obviously coming through.
There's what's his name now? Carl Greaves still doing his thing.
Great fella.
He doesn't put many shows on, I don't think, but he's got some brilliant fighters. One of my mates, actually, James Rayworth, just turned pro, middleweight prospect, super welterweight, I think he'll drop down to. But again, so much good things happening in the small
I've seen Carl well, and he's done some great little nights like Ben Wager versus Kofi Yates at the Barnsley Metrodome, little fights like that.
Mate, there's an atmosphere at the Barnsley Metrodome. You need to get down there.
Donny Dome. I've seen Paul Economides win the Central Area title at the Donny Dome and stuff, and
Lee Appleyard.
Lee Appleyard getting chinned by Chris Conwell from Manchester at the Donny Dome. That was a shock as well. And Atif Shafiq, he's been coming up on them shows, and eventually,
Gets on the big
got his
shows,
big chance on, Sky against Lee. And unfortunately, he beat Lee Appleyard, but unfortunately lost to James Tennyson. But
James Tennyson is a monster at lightweight.
Yeah, he's a big kid. He's a big kid, super better, but I think he's gonna.
He looks strong.
He's gonna have a lot more power at lightweight because he's not trained. But moving on to Scotland, Scotland, which I've had my ups and downs with that place, but it does have a place in my heart, and especially Edinburgh. And Andy talked to me about MTK because I'm a big supporter of MTK, as people know. But how good is it at the moment being there?
Well, I've got to give my good friend Danny Vaughan a massive shout out. I mean, just look at the fight he's made, and as well as St Andrews Club as well that they've made between Lee McGregor and Cashford.
Absolutely.
What a fight!
I mean, a tremendous fight.
You see,
trade fight.
You see 50-50 fights like that all the time with Irish fighters and English fighters and stuff like that. You never see something like that in Scotland.
Correct.
You never see two Scottish fighters headlining a show. The two up and coming prospects for the Commonwealth title, British title on the line. You don't see that in Scotland ever. And I can't even remember the last time. Maybe Alex Arthur and maybe not Ricky Burns, Willie Lemond or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, Alex Arthur versus Michael Gomez is a fight.
That wasn't an all Scottish clash, though.
But I mean, but that type of fight, though.
I mean, like an all Scottish clash. So the fact that they got that fight over the line, and they're both young. They're both undefeated, but this doesn't have to wait. This doesn't have to marinate that fight. But Danny Vaughan got it done with the St Andrews. But Danny Vaughan is put on.
But it was Danny. I'm sorry to jump in there, but it was really Danny Vaughan and MTK that really pushed that fight up. Because if it was down to anyone else, that fight wouldn't have happened. And I think it was the MTK really took the bull by the horns. Would you not say with that fight?
100%. Like I obviously, I'm not partial to any of the communication that goes on to make fights with Danny and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I know that Danny wanted to fight. And if anyone wants to fight and to get made, Danny done it. And the fact that Danny's opened up that gym as well in Holytown, which is basically halfway between Glasgow and Edinburgh, so it's not
Great
far for
location.
any of the fighters to get to. He's got the cryotherapy chamber there. He's got like all the high tech stuff, like the gym. It's that.
Have you tried cryotherapy?
They're doing the outdoor. They're doing the backyard.
He's got a huge outdoor sort of area that he's going to do up and stuff like that. So there's going to be bags and a sort of like AstroTurf 20-metre sprint type thing. So what Danny's done for Scottish boxing, even though he's not Scottish, he's a Scouser like you, but even though he's not Scottish, but what he's done for Scottish boxing, man, the guy's a good guy. I like him a lot.
I've told the family, the dad,
Georgie, Sandra, his wife Sandra, she's Scottish.
She's a lovely woman.
She's amazing. You've got Dom, exactly. You've got Dom there as well.
Who bleeds? He's like me and Dominic speak every day, and he just loves boxing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
obsessed with it.
He's actually become a good pad man as well. I watch him on the pads and that with the fighters, and the fighters, all his stable of fighters love him as well. So Scottish boxing's booming. We just need 2 or 3 Josh Taylors.
I think with Josh Taylor, with him now fighting on the WBSS final on Sky, I think this is his really coming out part. And hopefully, I don't talk bad on any promoter because promoters do great for themselves and their fighters, but I can really see. I don't want to go into any of that.
We'll just keep
but I can see Josh Taylor on the Matchroom banner doing amazing.
I said this all the time. I don't know if Chris, you might vouch for this, but when Josh was an amateur, I told everybody that this kid is a world champion.
Mate, I used to have dreams about him.
All the time I would tell anyone who would listen to me, I would say, this is when Josh, before even Josh won his Commonwealth gold medal in the amateurs, I said Josh Taylor would be a world champ. And to be fair, some guys like Uni from Fight Hype, he basically said to me that you told me this like way before Josh even turned pro that he was going to be a world champion, and it's all came true now. Just what Josh is, he's just a special fighter.
I've got to say, a lot of my knowledge on Scottish boxing actually come from you, because you introduced me to the likes of Tiff, Lewis Benson, Tommy Philbin, John Thane. I know John Thane was pro before them, but I didn't really know who he was. And obviously Josh. And we sat next to each other at Meadowbank, years back, watching Josh win the Commonwealth title against Dave Ryan. And it's quite nice looking back at hindsight where we come from and where we're at now. Sat in New York City.
New York City, man.
It's a bit emotional to be fair.
Meadowbank in Edinburgh too.
Got a great curry house around the corner from it. I always used to go there.
Meadowbank.
Have curry and chips.
Oh, that's I've got the place now.
Yeah, I used to go with my ex-beard after the shows and just go and get scram around the corner, and And Edinburgh, I used to go there for the night. I had a few nights out in Edinburgh in my time.
It's a cracking
Candy and Lulu and places
Candy
like
bar,
that. A big candy bar a few times.
Take me to yourself.
Oh, come up, man.
Yeah, Edinburgh's in my top 3 cities in the world.
I was kind of hoping
New York,
that
New York, Edinburgh,
And Liverpool. You've got to see Liverpool.
I was hoping
Liverpool or
that
LA.
the Taylor fight was going to be in Scotland. Really wanted
Josh
it
will
to
come
be.
back to the Hydro, so next time Josh
No, but he wanted it at the
I'd like to see him fight at Easter Road.
Castle.
Castle. He
Edinburgh
wanted
Castle.
I'd like to see him fight at Easter Road. I think it's much more the Castle. It's Brad tried it with the amateurs, didn't he? And logistically, it's an
Logistically, because
absolute
it's-
nightmare.
The Castle's up a hill. It's like there's only it's this. You can only get one truck through. It's so narrow, the gap to actually get into the Castle Esplanade. It's on top of a huge. You call it like an extinct volcano. The castle sits on top of an extinct volcano. So to get in there, all the fans and whatnot, it's just like a narrow road.
Yeah.
They do it for the military tattoo like every August, but it's like the amount of people that just scream out of that place is ridiculous. So logistically, I don't know. It's a dream. I hope it comes true because the backdrop and all that sort of stuff would be.
It'd be one of the most. Remember when Joe Calzaghe boxed at the Castle in Wales?
Yeah.
That it'd be like that, but better.
Times better. Like,
because it is the best. It
there
would
is
be
no
the best
castle-
backdrop.
There's no castle like Edinburgh Castle in the UK.
No.
Sitting on top, like bang in the city centre, like bang in the city centre. Oh, 2 seconds. Bang in the city centre. So I got a message here.
No, that would be amazing.
Bang in the city centre, up top of a hill with the whole city around you, sort of thing. It will be the best venue out there.
I absolutely agree, and I'd love to see Josh box there, and if not, I'd love to see him box at Easter Road.
Yeah, that's probably more
realistic because it's obviously I've been to Easter Road with my mate Brad, and it's very, very accessible venue, and it's probably the best thing that would have been seen at Easter Road in a while because the football there's shite. I went to watch Ibs Aberdeen, and Ibs actually won that day, and I was pissed in the boozer the boozer the standing order just off Easter Road.
Standing order.
I was smashed in there halfway through. And Brad was like, "Oh, did you see the goal?" And me and my mate Brian from my house went up to watch, and we went up from Liverpool to watch Hibs, and we were sat there like, I don't know, we're in the boozer. We got off after 20 minutes.
Yeah, sure. No worries.
Thingy McGann was still playing for them. The kid who's at Villa now.
Who?
Is it McGann?
John McGann.
John McGann. Yeah. He was there, and he ran the show for the 20 minutes that we saw, but everyone else was shite. Sunshine on Leith was a good experience. Sunshine on Leith, big experience in it and a big game. That was quite a good experience. But it's I think for Easter Road, and obviously Josh is a Hibs fan, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
It'd be like in the same way Bellew
box
at Everton. Yeah.
Gives me goosebumps. That still.
Does it?
Yeah,
watching that back every single time.
It's a special night. That I always wanted to box at Everton, and I just thought I'm never gonna box on the pitch. So I was actually looking into trying to see if the suites were available to put a show on for the future. When they do at Villa Park, they have shows at Villa Park, don't they, in the Holt suite? I'm like, do you reckon they could do that at Goodison? But I don't think Goodison's got the infrastructure for it because it's fallen to bits. God bless the place. But we'll wrap it up now. But I just want to say, and ask you individually, what does the future hold for you? So
Me?
we'll start with Andy. What does the future hold for you? And what do you want to see from boxing in the future, in the next 12 months to 12 months to 2 years?
For me personally, just more of the same. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I've got this opportunity to do this sort of stuff. So just more of the same. It doesn't have to be New York. It doesn't have to be Chicago, LA, Vegas. It doesn't have to be any of them shows.
Yeah.
As long as I'm doing shows and I'm speaking to fighters and talking about this boxing, which is probably the easiest job in the world and the best job in the world for me because I love the sport so much. And for me, just to talk to you guys, fighters, promoters, managers, coaches, it's easy. Yeah, it's easy, and I enjoy it. So just more of the same of what I'm doing. Like I said, it doesn't have to be here in New York or anything like that. London, it's all good. But what I want to see more from the sport is more of the sort of fights coming off that we need to see. So we need to see Joshua, Wilder, Fury. We need to see them three fight. I want to see Lomachenko fight. I want to see all these other fight the top names, Gervonta Davis and stuff like that. These are the fights that I want to see, and hopefully we're starting to see a bit more and more promoters working together. So if we see that, then all good for me.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, just sort of develop myself and keep going where I'm going right now. It's similar to you, but I guess I just want to keep us in sense of competing in boxing as well. I want to keep moving forward and keep learning and really go as far as I can.
Yeah.
Give it a shot, and if you want to round that up, is just be the best Bengali that there's ever been.
I'll tell you what, I'll get my coaching badge and I'll train you.
What IFL behind the gloves.
There we go. Yeah,
That's the management team.
There's
that.
a management team right there.
But no, there's never been a Bengali athlete that's apart from cricket. Before I disrespect
Are they even athletes?
No.
Oh, no. He just
But
did
there's
the
never
math.
been someone who's represented us Bengalis in other sports that's not been dominated by Asians. Like example, football, boxing, rugby, any of these mainstream sports. I just want to really represent the country as much as I can. And boxing wise, I think you've said it bang on, nail on the head. These big fights need to be made. I mean, we're getting some really good fights. Like we got the October show, the one in London was good with Lomachenko coming over for the first time. Amazing reception he got. But the Joshua Wilders, the Joshua Furies, the Fury Wilder rematch, Javante Davis in there in that mix. In fact, I just want to see Javante fight more. He's not fighting.
Yeah.
He needs to fight a name that now he's up at lightweight. He might get that name.
Oh, he's gone up to lightweight.
He's vacated the super featherweight title.
Commie.
Commie's, but I think Lopez.
Someone like I'd like to see the Pedraza fight him again at lightweight. Pedraza is a different animal at lightweight, and we'll see how good Javante is as a lightweight against someone like Pedraza.
Pedraza fighting this Saturday.
Yeah, he is. I should know that. I do his media.
Tyson Fury's on the card.
I should really know that. I do Pedraza's media for Mike Leonardi. That's Victory Sport and Entertainment. Shout out Mike and Vic Torres.
Shout out Mike, what's up, bruv?
What's
up, brother?
Cool man. Chicago Mike. If anyone calls him, we know he lives in Vegas.
Chicago Mike?
Yeah, but he lives in Vegas and he's from Michigan. But that's
there you go.
It's a bit weird, that one, but now they're good people then. But I think personally I echo your sentiments from a personal and professional aspect, similar stuff. What I want to see a bit more out of is fighters getting the money they deserve. And I want to see less percentages that go into people who don't deserve them, and those percentages going in fighters' pockets. That's what I want to see, because we all know how hard it is, this business, and a fighter deserves to get every penny he's earned. He shouldn't be given, or she.
Yeah, that's another thing. Women's boxing. I want to see more women's boxing. Don't know about you guys, but I enjoy it.
I'm from Liverpool. I saw it every weekend in the pub.
There's some quality fighters. Hardy Serrano, what a fight! I mean, I'm a massive Hardy fan. I'll be honest,
I like Jeff Hardy in the wrestling myself.
Heather Hardy's.
Good joke, man.
You could say she's not technically.
Tell you what, I interviewed Heather Hardy. Sorry for shooting in there, but she said that she's Scottish.
She's Irish.
She's Irish, but she said her grandmother was Scottish.
Was it?
Yeah. She was always built as Irish Heather Hardy.
Well, that's the thing, because I think she said that they kept on moving from Clydebank to Dublin, so she's got Scottish in her as well.
But did they? I didn't know they had a ferry in Clydebank.
They don't. It'll probably be Stranraer.
It was Stranraer the ferry, innit? Yeah, I was going to say Dublin's a bit better than Clydebank, mate.
Clydebank. That's where Kevin Bridges is from. It's rough, man.
Yeah. That the story he tells about the bus. You know that's right. And
he says that Clydebank's the only place in the world where dogs step in human shit.
Wow.
Yeah. That's all shit it is.
He's right. And we're going to conclude fight predictions, because it's going to go out in the morning. Fight predictions. Serrano Hardy, because they're a big co-main event. By Ludabella, like you said.
You can't give us these fight predictions. We've got to interview these people.
I know.
And you're like, no, well, they won't hear this. They don't know me.
All draws.
No.
But that's an example of what you said before. Matchroom working with Ludabella, the two Ludabella fighters. So Amanda Serrano, Ed Hardy, I'll go first. I think it's a great fight on paper. I just think Amanda's going to be a little bit too strong for Heather. I think size is going to play a factor. And I think I fancy Amanda to get that stoppage late.
I don't think it'll be a stoppage, because Heather has got some chin on her, man. And I know Amanda can do the body. Yeah, we'll wait and see. But I'll go for Haney and I'll go for Hunter.
Yeah,
against the two Russians there, but
Laddie Friars as well.
Yeah. Friars, I'll go for that.
Yeah, we're going for Friars. Come on, Laddie.
The guy that I haven't mentioned, Ray Ford, who's out, he's in that my hotel. What a cracking little fighter he is. Watch out for him.
I've seen him on the pads. He looks an absolute sensational talent. And and Serrano Hardy.
Draw.
No, I don't really like giving predictions, to be honest. But if I would say sort of give an idea of the fight. For people that don't know who Heather Hardy is, a very, very strong come forward fighter, and honestly, I genuinely think if she fought in England, she'd get a lot of fans.
Yeah.
She'd
She's Celtic anyway, so if it was Ireland or Scotland, she'd get 100 million.
100%. Again, like you said, Amanda could cause some damage because Amanda's no joke. 7 division world champion.
As they'd say in Brooklyn, she's a bad bitch. She's. But one thing I think I'm going to end this on is, if you haven't made your mind up whether or you like or dislike women's boxing, watch this fight and then make your assessment after this fight.
100%. That's a very good point.
I think give women's boxing a chance. Watch this fight and let the girls show you that they can fight too.
And follow me on Instagram at McCart17.
And follow me on Instagram, FUAD Gram. That's Fuad Gram, at Fuad Gram.
There we go.
This has been Havoc Time. This has been a British Media
Thank
special.
you very much for having us on.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.